Nice to see you at our masterclass from Dirkop Adler. Today I would like to introduce our product 1280-7. We are offering long seam units at Dirkop Adler. Actually, at present, we are offering 2 classes. The first class is the class 1280-7, and the second class is 1281-7. So today I would like to talk about the 1280-7, and later on we will also offer a masterclass for 1281-7. The only difference here is we are doing on both machines long seams like closing seams on trousers, on skirts, on jackets, any long seams. The difference between the both classes is the 1280 is our eco version, means we have a compact machine class, machine table, where we still have a manual feeding on the machine. That means the sewing process is done automatically by the machine. The operator still have to guide the material. And on the 1281-7, we do have a pre-laying table there. So the machine, the process of sewing, the programming, everything is the same, except that we do have a pre-laying table here with a mouse station, which holds the end of the fabric to make sure that I don't have to handle it by hand, so I can take and prepare the next piece while stitching. So, the 1281-7 and the 1280 and 1281-7 are replacing the former versions 1280-5-1 versions. So these are not available anymore. So let's come to the question why long seam units are so important. The first reason is you as a customer want to increase and stabilize the quality. If you do the application manually, you have always the influence of we are maybe cutting a little bit of the material, which is normally not wanted. And then you're shrinking the sizes. And what does this mean? If we shrink the sizes, the measurement does not stay the same. On our machines, we guarantee that the measurements stay absolutely the same. So important is that the adjustment of the machine and the setting is perfectly done. Then on our closing units, we are reducing the handling times and training times because the handling is made so easy, the machine is doing actually the application. So we are talking about a machine which is working automatically in a program process, and the operator is just holding and inserting the material into the machine. Then we are offering a higher output because if the machine is controlling the speed and not the operator by pedal, you have a constant cycle time on the machine, always a higher cycle time compared to the manual version. And this means you have a higher output and a better efficiency on the machine. Then, if we have a better efficiency, we have less machines, less operators in use, and this is the advantage for our customers, that we reduce the labor cost because we don't need so many people on the machine, we don't need so many machines, we need less energy cost, this is getting more and more important, and the space in the production is also less. So a long seam sewing unit. The advantage here is we have a maximum flexibility on the machine. We are using a Pegasus sewing head, in this case an EXT sewing head. EXT means I have a differential top feed and a differential bottom feed. And on our machines we can program fully the top and the bottom feet according to the position of where I do need fullness in the seam, according to different material thicknesses or any kind of different material. Then we use touch panel on the machine to program. We use a stacker on the machine to stack the garments, to work, overlap, to use the time of overlapping to prepare the next piece. The flexibility here on the sewing head of Pegasus gives us the possibility to work chain stitch seams. That means I could theoretically only close as a double chain stitch, or I could close seams in safety seams, in 4-thread or 5-thread safety seams. So according to the application, we are offering different sewing equipments. What we have improved on our -7 version is we have now an extended application field. I will come to this point later. So this machine has a perfect fit due to partial fullness distribution because we are using stepper motors where we can program in which area of the seam I need which kind of fullness, on the top or on the bottom layer of material. The automatic fullness distribution can be done by stepper motors. This is an optional equipment, the highest version of technology. But if this is not required, because, for example, there is a production of workwear, jeans, and so on, and they maybe need only a little fullness or only some few areas of fullness, there we can go to a lower technology level where we offer the pneumatic controlled top feed available, yes. And then if this is all not required because you have a production where they do always the same fabric and they don't need any fullness in the seam, we can just take out all the fullness distribution. We have one mechanical setting to have a nice flat seam, and we can stitch on the machine like that. The latest upgrade on the 1280-7 is we are using now the touchscreen Commander Pro with a color graphic display. This is this display here. We have a very flexible possibility of programming our user interface. What does it mean? I can decide how many quick access icons I will show to the operator. So if we don't want to confuse the operator with any quick access icons, I just eliminate it. The operator can change the program, the sequence, and that's it. Or if I want to give the operator the possibility to have 1, 2, 3 quick access icons, that would be also programmable. Everything individual programmable. Then the next new upgrade on the machine is our modern, reliable, network-compatible Dürrkop Adler DAC compact control. DAC means Dürrkop Adler Control System, and the name of the control is compact. So this is our Dürrkop Adler control technology, where we switched to our own system to make sure that we have the control on the whole system on our own. In combination with this DAC control system, we are offering a so-called machine ID that stores all the parameters, the machine parameters on the ID in case you have to change the control box. It's an easy change because the ID and the control box is communicating to each other. Now coming to the extended fields of application. So in the past, the machine was able to do side seam on trousers, on jeans, on casual trousers, classic trousers. This is still possible. So that means the machine is doing still the applications we had before. So this is an application, for example, for side seam closing. The application here means we are stitching over the pocket bag manually over pedal. And as soon as I reach a point below the pocket bag, then the machine will switch in the edge guide and we stitch the rest of the seam fully automatic. That means the machine does the job of doing the automatic part and I have the possibility to take my next piece to work partly overlapped. The same thing we do have for classic trousers. It does not matter if we have trousers with knee lining or without. The machine will always give you a perfect stitched side seam and inseam. So the side seam here, again, we stitch manually over the area of the pocket bag and the rest automatic. In case of jacket applications, we could do, for example, long seams like sleeve seams, the inner seams. We could do center back seams in jackets. We could do lining. We could do any application in jackets, which is a long seam. So, for example, this is now the lining front part in a jacket. I could stitch it as a safety seam or a chain stitch seam. And I could attach here the side panel to the front panel. What I could do also in jackets is closing the center back seam in jackets. So this is a program, or we have prepared programs where we stitch from the start to the bottom fully automatic. We just use the pedal to start the machine and the rest will be stitched automatic. Beside this, we have also extended the application for jeans. In jeans, in the case of jeans application, we are changing the sewing head. In case you have very heavy jeans, we are changing the sewing head to a heavy sewing head. That means for heavier fabric. And then you could also stitch jeans applications. So another new extended field is we have prepared the machines for stitching laundry bags and gowns. So that means this kind of materials customers came up to us and asked whether there is a chance to do such applications also automatic. And I can say yes. We have done gowns and these laundry bags, very successful. This is an example for a laundry bag. So we have stitched first this horizontal seam, and afterwards we have stitched automatically the long seam for the laundry bag. The rest of the applications will be done on another machine, but the long seams here can be done on our 1280 and 1281. As I mentioned in the beginning, we do have a new touch screen on the machine, which is our Commander Pro touchscreen. So we have here an area where we show the graphic, that means what kind of fabric, what kind of garment I'm stitching. I show also in which direction we are stitching. It is shown how to position the garment on the table. We do have here the programmable user interface with quick access icons where I can program my own quick access icons according to the application. Beside this, you have the possibility here to select a sequence, the program, the number, that means a piece counter on the machine, so everything is fully automatic done. The machine or the touch panel will offer 200 programs in 40 sequences. And in every single sequence, you can have up to 14 different programs. You can work in a sequence or without sequence, and you just select it manually by touch it. So the machine is translated, or the parameters are translated already in 17 different languages. So I would say most of the languages worldwide are covered here. And if there is still a language not translated, we are still open to add one more language on the machine. New on this class is also that we are offering tutorials now on the machine. A tutorial is available standard-wise on the machine, means we are offering tutorials how to clean the machine, we are offering how to operate the machine. The product video with the applications is implemented in this system. We are offering tutorials like the manuals are loaded on the machine, so we all know if we are in the production looking for the right manual, you're always searching where's the correct manual book. And now here we have everything on the machine, also in chapters if necessary. And we have some tutorial videos how to explain the main important parameters, how to prepare and create a program, how to create a sequence. And all these things are explained by the manual or also by video tutorial. Very helpful because seeing something in a video is always better and understandable than reading something. The machine is equipped with our Dürrkorb Adler control, compact control. That means here we are using our own control technology, and I mentioned we have a machine ID on the machine, and this machine ID saves the information of the machine parameters. In case of a control box change, we are much quicker and safer that none of the data will disappear. We are offering two available Pegasus sewing heads. The standard one is the Pegasus EXT 3216 sewing head. And in case of very heavy material like jeans, like heavy workwear, and the normal standard sewing head might be not strong enough, we are offering the Pegasus EXT 3216H sewing head. H for heavy sewing. As an option, we are also offering the pneumatic thread tension release. This is this part here. We are recommending this for very thick threads. We are recommending it also for if you have stitch types more than 3 threads. That means like in this case, safety seams 4 thread, 5 thread. This pneumatic thread tension helps to have a better seam quality. We release the thread tension while we do the thread cutting or the chain cut to have less threads while chain cut and a more safe chain cut. Sewing equipments are available, as I mentioned, in stitch type 401, which is a double chain stitch type. We are offering in different seam margin 9, 10, 11, 12 millimeter. And the same thing we offer for the stitch type 515, means a 4 thread safety seam. again 9 to 12 millimeter seam margin available, and the stitch type 516 with 5-thread safety seam. We do recommend, in case of these both stitch types, that means 515 and 516, to add them, to configure the machine with our pneumatic controlled edge guide. So we can switch in and out this edge guide while stitching or before start stitching, because in some areas of the seam you might need to cut material, pocket bag extension for example, and in this case you have to you release or bring back your edge guide to have the possibility of cutting materials. Because normally we don't want to cut the materials to keep the size and the measurement. The sewing head EXT is a sewing head which is equipped with a differential top and bottom feet. That means we have here a nice picture. So we have a differential top feet and a differential bottom feet. So that means the advantage here is, if I have a differential top feet, I can have fullness in the top layer of material. If I use the differential bottom feet, I can have fullness in the bottom layer. If I work both same stitch lengths, I will have a nice flat seam. Standard-wise, the 1280 has a mechanical adjustment of this differential top and bottom feet. That means I take my screwdriver, I fix my the position of top and bottom feet to have, for example, a nice flat seam. This is a recommendation for jeans, for workwear, wherever you do not need to add any fullness. So in this case, the standard setting is more than enough, because in general, people do not adjust this frequently, because if you have always the same material, not necessary. Then we do offer a pneumatic switchable differential top and bottom feet as an option. And that means we have a set here behind the sewing head. And here I just pull my, my handle and move the handle in the front or in the back. And this means I have more or less differential top feet adjusted. So that means I have here one setting beside the other mechanical setting of flat stitching. So what does this mean here? I have my seam and I can stitch flat, fullness, flat. And this I can do up to 5 times on off, fullness off, fullness on off within one seam. If I want to have it more comfortable on the machine, then we do recommend to go for the stepper motor controlled fullness distribution. What does this mean? I do have a stepper motor for the top feet and I have a stepper motor for the bottom feet, and I can program how much fullness I want to have in which area of the seam. And I can save it in the program and I can easily recall it. So if I change very often the fabrics, if I have small bundles with a lot of different fabrics, this is the right solution, because I can program number 1, 2, 3 up to 200 with different settings of my stepper motor to have different fullness values, or maybe also different values to get a nice flat seam. This is also possible. The display of the fullness distribution looks a little different. If you have the pneumatic switchable differential top and bottom feet, you have actually 3 informations. That means length, fullness, and reduced speed. That means here you say, okay, the first centimeter I want to switch it off, and the next up to 30 centimeter I want to have it switched on, and afterwards I switch it off. So that means, and this is very simple to use also for people who are maybe not high educated here, we just take a ruler or a measurement tape, position it on the trouser, and we just read the numbers where I want to switch in or out my fullness. So that means I can just read the information, because here we are using a reference dimensioning. So that means after the first 5 centimeter, in this case, I will not use my fullness, and after 5 till 30 centimeter, the fullness will be switched on. And the same thing I could do with a reduced speed here. If I have a stepper motor, there I have these 3 informations, of course, plus 2 more informations, which are, of course, more detailed. I do not say fullness on-off. I say fullness on-off, yes, but how much fullness? So I can program the value of the fullness here in this table directly. So, and I have 5 different segments of the seam where I can say on-off, different fullnesses, everything. And now, in addition to this, we do have a fullness plus possibility. And here we say switch on and off. Why? Because normally the operator would not go so deep in the programming. The operator has 2 quick access icons in the main screen for fullness plus. And then here the operator just give a value in. That means if we have a seam which is with 1 fabric super, we have in a certain area little fullness, the rest is flat, then the operator change to a thicker or thinner material, and the sewing result is not good as expected, she can say fullness plus or minus, and then she can immediately start with the next fabric without calling the technicians to adjust something or anything. So she can continue working without calling the line manager or the technician. Then we do have a contour and an edge guide on the machine. What does this mean? We do have here a contour guide. The contour guide is something like with 3 lips, let's say. One is laying flat on the table, and then we position 1 fabric on the lower area, then another lip is coming, and the second material is on the top. So we are separating the material during the whole sewing sequence, during the whole program. Why? Because there are materials while stitching, they stick together. And if they stick together, they create fullness and displacement of material. And this we want to avoid. And to make sure that this does work perfectly, we do have blowing tubes, blowing nozzles on the top and on the bottom. So we blow the fabric through the edge guide to float them, to keep them nice, soft and stressless through this edge contour guide. Besides this, we have different adjustments, because here we need different heights of adjustments on the contour guide, because thick or thin material need to be adjusted. In addition to this, we are using the pneumatic edge guide. I mentioned it before, we would need it in case I need to cut pocket bag extensions. And in this case, we would switch in and out this edge guide to make sure in the first area of the side seam I need to cut the pocket bag. And below the pocket bag, I would switch the edge guide in to make sure that we do not cut any material, because I remember, well, we remember that we don't want to cut material. We want to keep the measurement, we want to keep the size of the garment. I have a small video here. So this is the pneumatic contour guide and this is the edge guide. Okay, so now coming to the support units. So if I handle my material, if I stitch my material, after stitching, normally we would need a support unit, like, for example, a stacker or any unit which helps me to take out the material from the table to load the next piece to support me in working overlapped. So the first support unit what we are offering here is, standard-wise, the machine is equipped with a so-called down holder. This down holder comes at the end of the seam, comes down, hold the material, that we can have a nice and safe chain cut. And as soon as the stacker starts catching the material, it releases the material and the stacking process can be done. The optional equipment which we offer here is a pneumatic swing out device. And this means we do have here a pneumatic arm which can swing in and out in front of the sewing head, catches the material, so it's a combination of a swing out and a down holder, so it swings in and out, catch the material, bring it to the edge of the table for the stacking process. This you would need in case of short pieces, like you have short trousers or skirts or anything what is shorter than normal standard long trousers. I have a small video here which shows the application. The video here is from our class 1200-7, but the system is exactly the same. It's one-to-one the same thing. So it catches the material after stitching, bring it close to the edge of the table, and the stacking process can be done. Catch it, bring it back. Then we do have a puller and rollout device. This is also an option on the 1280. The puller is the roller in the front, and the rollout device is the part in the left. So the puller has the job to guide the material, to release it from the table and to transport it simultaneously in the optimally in the same speed of the sewing process, and transport it to the stacker position. The roll-out device has the function same as the down holder. It will stop as soon as the fabric reaches the end of the stitching, stop the material, that we have a nice, clean and safe cutting process of the chain. So, small video here. This is in the front the puller, and this is the roll-out device. So both rollers can independently programmed according to material, according to the size of the product, everything. So now coming to the thread monitor. In the price list, you will find the thread monitor as an option available. The part number shows only one piece, and up to 3 thread monitors can be equipped on one machine. Normally, 1 or 2 is more than enough, but if you want to be 100% safe, then up to 3 would be possible and available. Another option in the price list is our laser marking lamp. So you see here on the picture that this is the laser marking lamp, and this gives the indication for the operator to have a perfect position of my seam. So she knows this line shows me where the seam will be. In the area of the pocket, it is very important that I catch a certain part here, a certain point where we have normally a tack on the pocket. To make sure that this tack will be inside the seam, she has the line to control and maybe push the material a little bit more inside or outside to catch this tack inside the stitched seam. Storage tables are available for the 1280. This is one storage table as an option available. This is for trousers bundles, which give me the possibility to work from left or from right to load it directly on the machine and continue. We do have as an option a cutting waste disposal. That means we have here equipment and a separate box where we collect the cutted waste to make sure that the area of the machine stay clean. And we have a nice cutted threads and everything what the pocket bag extensions will be sucked into this box. It is recommended to use this for safety seams as long as the customer need to cut material. The foot pedal is standard on the machine, so the functionality is like this because we need two different functions on the pedal. If I push the pedal backwards here, the machine will start stitching. If I push it forward, the machine will switch in the edge guides or any other function which I had combined here. Now coming to the stickers. So we do offer 3 or 4 different stacking systems actually. We do offer the standard clam stacker, which is this one here with 2 arms, and we are stitching and this plate comes, catch and clamp the material, and we blow out the trouser, so the trouser or any sewn part will be positioned on these 2 arms. We have improved and we have upgraded this stacker to a better version. Here we have 3 arms adjustable to the size of the bundle and the length of the garments you would like to stack. So we have a small video here. So very easy adjustable by the operator. So one arm can be extended or you take it out in case you don't need it, but longer trouser parts, longer sewing parts can be easily stacked, and shorter parts you take the 3rd arm away and you use only as before the 2 arms. Then we still offer our flip stacker system. This is the flip stacker, which can be used on all our machines. This is a stacker which catches the material and with the arm flip the trouser and catch the material. And last but not least, we have now a split stacker on the 1280, which is a stacker which can sort left and right side of trousers, skirts, whatever. So the system is very simple. I can program whether I want to sort left and right side. Or if I want to use this stacker as a storage in the production, because sometimes you do not have space and you could use this one as a storage one. So that means you finish one bundle, move the stacker to the right or left position by manual switch, and then you use the second position to finish the next bundle. So that would mean I always have one bundle in my production as a reserve for the next following operation. Coming to the performances. So performance we always give in 8 hours, and if we talk about performance, we could say that we take an average on the experiences what we faced at the customers. So there are customers, they are a little slower, but there are also a lot of customers, they are much faster what we are giving here. But we want to make sure that a calculation on this base is a realistic one. So coming to the 1280-7, if I talk about trousers, which where we close the side seam only on trousers, we talk about 1500 to 1700 seams in 8 hours working time. If we talk about the inseam closing only, there we talk about 1600 to 1800 seams. Why it is a little faster? We have a shorter seam, plus we do not have the area of the curve where we have to support manual a little bit longer. If we have trousers with a pocket bag, this area we stitch still manual. Why? You want to control this area, and that's why we suggest to stitch this still manual. And below the pocket bag, we stitch up to the end automatic. Skirts, the performance here is 1350 to 1500 seams approximately. If we have skirts with pocket bags, a shorter seam than the trouser, we have a little more performance or higher performance, 1500 to 1650. If I combine on my trouser side seam with pocket and the inseam, I can do approximately 400 trousers in 8 hours working time, a complete trouser. The applications of center back seam or sleeve seams on jackets, we have a performance of 15 to 1650 seams in 8 hours working time. But again, this means always this is an average length. If you have longer or shorter parts, it would be faster or a little slower. I have prepared some configuration examples, how the machine should be equipped for certain applications. And the first application is trousers with double chain stitch seams. That means in general classic trousers. Classic trousers, you would select the sewing equipment, the sewing unit, the sewing equipment E1 in this case, which has a seam width of 10 millimeter open seam. Open seam means I have to do the overlock. I have to do the overlock seam before, and then I close it with chain stitch, and I open my seam afterwards and iron it out. Then I would always suggest, if we talk about classic trousers, we talk about maybe a little higher quality trousers. There I would suggest to go with a stepper motor fullness distribution. I would always add the laser marking line or a lamp, because this helps the operator tremendously to match this tag at the pocket area. Puller and rollout device, I'm a fan of high quality, so I would always suggest puller with rollout device, the storage table for trouser bundles, and the clam stacker with the extension means with the 3 arms. trousers with safety seams. This is the trouser with safety seam. That means I have in this case a 5-thread safety seam. So chain stitch and the overlock in combination in the same time. Here I would go for the sewing equipment E9. 5 times 5 means 10 millimeter seam margin, safety seam, with a pneumatic controlled edge guide, because in this case, I repeat, I would like to cut in the area of the pocket bag. I want to cut the extensions of the pocket bag. And to make this, to realize this, I have to move the edge guide aside, stitch in this area, put the edge guide in from below the pocket and finish my seam with the edge guide to keep the same shape and size of the trouser. Then fullness distribution by stepper motor or pneumatically, both would be possible here. Thread tension release, because we have more than 3 threads in our seam. Laser marking light, the storage table, and the puller with the rollout device. As a stacking system here, I have chosen a 2 storage rack stacker, the basic one, because this is normally for casual trousers, and in this case I think the 2 rack would be also fine, but any other stacker is the right choice too. For jeans or heavy workwear, we have to add, beside the sewing unit, we have to add the heavy sewing head, the Pegasus EXT 3216H. That means the heavy version. If I have jeans which is very thin, this is not necessary. But again, for heavy material, this is recommended. In case of jeans, I would go for a seam margin a little wider than 10 millimeter, because jeans in general, they have it a little larger. In 5 to 7, that means 12 millimeter safety seams. Thread tension release, because we have more than 3 threads. Pneumatic controlled edge guide. Pneumatic suction device for the material waste. The storage table, puller and the rollout device, and again the stacker. So that was the theoretical presentation of class 1280-7. Now please follow me. I would like to show you something on the machine to see the applications and some special features. Now let's have a look on the machine and see the special features. I mentioned already that we do have here the Pegasus EXT sewing head with a differential foot top feed here. So you can see here the differential feed. This differential feed is controlled by a stepper motor in this case. So we can program the fullness value for the top and the bottom fullness. So the machine is also equipped with light barrier to recognize seam beginning and fully automatic. Then we do have here on the machine the laser marking lamp. This marking lamp here is to show us where will be the position of the seam, the closing seam afterwards. So it helps to position exactly behind this tag on the wing pockets, for example. Then we do have the contour guide here. And I said we have 3 lips. The one is the lower one. Then we have one in the middle and one on top. And the material, one layer is laying on the bottom side and the other will be laid in on the top side. We are blowing air on the top and on the bottom to float the material through this contour guide. The height adjustment here will be done by these two adjustments, and I can easily take out or in the whole equipment for threading the machine. Standard-wise, we do have here a mechanical edge guide. This mechanical edge guide can be adjusted to the seam margin. And we remember from the theoretical presentation, we also have the pneumatic edge guide. And this pneumatic edge guide is possible to move in and out within the program. What else we have on the machine is we have equipped this machine with a puller. This is the puller. And the roll-out device with two rolls here at the end. Good. Here the machine is equipped with a Commander Pro display, which is this system here, a touch panel where I can easily switch on or off functions. In this case, we have the sequence function and the program function. I can easily select different sequences. We remember within one sequence, I can have up to 14 different programs programmed. Okay, good. So going back is always with this home touch, and then we are back in the main screen. We do have here a piece counter where I can program the counter mode if I want to count up or down. I can set a certain number of pieces in case the technician has worked some pieces and the piece counter still counted up. I can reset it to the value I need. I can also say in case I want to count complete trousers and I want to count after 2 or 4 seams, I can count here the pieces after 4 seams. 1 piece is counted and I know at the end of the day how many trousers I have stitched, for example. And then the reset of the counter is simple. The reset is here, so I can reset it to 0. Here we do have a very nice function. This question mark does help me in case I do not understand the icons very well. That might happen in the beginning. This is no problem. If I push this once, it will be gray. And then I would like to know what means this icon. I get a complete explanation and description of what this function is doing. So here it's manual sewing on off. This mode is necessary if the machine is to be sewn without a program being active. Or this one. This is for differential bottom feet. I can switch it on and off, and I can change parameters for setting the differential bottom feet, and so on and so on. If I want to see all the equipment or all the icons here, and I don't want to touch every single time, I just hold it a little longer. Then the color will change to a blue color, and I can switch from one explanation to the next one. So, and if everything is clear to me, I switch this function off and I can start stitching. Here I do see how many seams I do have in one sequence. In this case, we have now 4. That means program number 1, 2, 5, and 6. Here we have a graphic of what we are stitching. We are stitching a trouser, side seam, and we have the back trouser on top. If I would change now, program number 2 is side seam, front trouser on top. Program number 5 is inseam, sewing start always from top to bottom, and front trouser on top, etc., etc. So here I do have my quick access icons. If I want to see where are my other quick access icons, I can just swipe from one page to the other. If I need to add something in the other parameters, I have the possibility here, go to p ... and here I have all the parameters which are necessary and available for this program. So, and here, this is our burger menu, a navigation menu. So here I have sequence programming, which is the same like here. The program parameters, which is the same like this. This is just another door to get into the parameters. And then we do have the settings here. This is for technical level here, so we can see what is the machine configuration, but I have to enter the technical code before. So what else I do find very important? I do have here my tutorials. My tutorials are, for example, a short manual of the control panel. So here I do have a short description how to start quick and easy to make program sequences and so on. Very simple. We have a PDF file here which explains everything what is necessary in the main important steps. Beside the short manual, I do have a complete control panel training in chapters. So this is the long version of the manual, let's say. And then we offer here control panel videos. Means I have a list of videos here where I can see how to change something. For example, here the piece counter. I switch on the video and it will show me how to adjust the piece counter, up, down, off, changing the counter pieces in case necessary in 2 different ways. Then we do have count for every program, 1 piece. So that would be also possible, and reset the counter. And this tutorial videos you find for every very important parameter which you need frequently to change. So even if you forget how to do it, the videos are always standard on the machine, and you just remember by seeing the videos to understand how to do that. Then we do have the machine video. That means this is a daily cleaning of the machine. This is important, I would say, because a daily cleaning, this is like our car. If we treat our car well, it will last long. The same for our machines. If we clean it daily in the correct way, then we have a longer lifetime on the machine. So then the next point here is the manuals, the official manuals of this machine, which you can also download from the internet, from our homepage. This is available on the machine. So even if after some time you will get an update, or we will offer an update for manuals, videos, etc., you just download it, and you can also load these data complete to the machine. We have here at the side the possibility for USB sticks. You can load your own communications and documentations on the machine. So this is the sales qualification. So the presentation I have done today, you will also find here on the machine to make sure that all the informations which I have informed you today are available. Due to the fact that we use the same touch panel commander for 1280 and 1281, you will find the presentation for both classes here implemented. Good. This is a quick overview of the machine. Now I would like to show you the application behind. So let's say I would like to stitch now the center back seam of a jacket. And here I would have a program where I can stitch mainly automatic. That would be, for example, a program here, which is pre-adjusted from my side. So what I do is I am loading one material now on the bottom, the other material on the top. The blowing cycle will be automatically programmed already, so you don't have to take care about this. And then I start stitching, and you will see the machine will take over after a certain centimeter in the automatic sewing mode. So I only have to hold the material till the end of the seam to make sure that the seam is nice stitched. So you see that this system was with an automatic sewing process. So while the last, let's say, 20-30 minutes centimeters are stitching, I can take the next piece, or I do it when the seam really is done and I take the next piece. So now I would like to show you an application for trousers. I will change to another program, side seam, front pocket on the top. And important here is I would like to stitch the area of the pocket bag manually to make sure that we do not, we stitch until below the pocket bag to make sure that we catch the right fabric position. So, and I will cut the fabric extensions here because this is something which I would like to avoid. So what I do is, so I stitch till the end of the pocket bag, and then I switch in my contour guide, and then I just hold the material. So this is the side seam. So now we have seen an automatic process, means only the first 5-6 centimeters manual stitching and the rest automatic, and a manual or a semi-automatic process that means stitching manual by pedal below the pocket bag, and then we start the automatic process. So we are absolutely free in programming everything what is necessary for the application. So we are very, very flexible with this new touch panel and with this new software system which we have behind, and we are very sure to match all the applications which could be stitched on the machine here. So now I just want to add, for the control panel here, we do have a separate masterclass where we explain every single parameter separately to show how to switch on, off, how to change them. If necessary, please feel free. Welcome to our masterclass for our Commander touch panel. And now I have to say thank you very much for joining this masterclass of class 1280-7. Please have a look to our homepage, our product pages. There we do offer product videos, leaflets, maybe also other ideas of applications which could be done on this machine. Thank you very much for your attention and hope to see you next time again.